Hello there, my name is, oops, I just missed this, Beth Green, otherwise known as Granny Rocks.
And hello, I'm James Maynard, otherwise known as Sweet Baby James.
And welcome to Granny Rocks. Tonight I'm going to talk about 10 signs that you need an inner makeover and 10 signs that you are ready.
Oh.
And I have to say that I could have made it 100 of each. But anyway, I think my audience would be pretty annoyed if I went on and on. So let's see what's going on. But before we get to the show, I would love for Sweet Baby James to
introduce
the show. I just turned on the comments. I can see them, and that's a great thing.
So welcome everybody. You have come to Granny Rocks, where Granny rocks our world with her insight, her wisdom, and her uncommon sense, not to mention her humor. So without further ado, here's Granny.
Thank you. We already have a wonderful hello with like a rainbow from Elizabeth, who gives us the reassurance that we are actually broadcasting. So, there's a lot of talk about makeovers. We don't have a TV, but I know there are programs about your home makeover, your appearance. It's all about appearances, right? It's like make over the way you look. Tracy says hi, and she sends
hi, Tracy.
A caring and a heart. So, maybe we need an inner makeover more than we need an outer makeover. Or, maybe our faces and our houses don't need a makeover as much as we do. So I want to talk about that, And so what is a makeover? Okay. Typically a makeover, I just read about this. I looked it up. What is a makeover? It's a change in appearance. An inner makeover is a change in essence. How we are in the world and how we experience life. And we have Lotvi who said hi. Hello there to you, Lotvi. So happy to see you. So my guess is that we all need an inner makeover in some way or other, right? But even if we don't acknowledge it. But most of us really don't want to face that and don't want to have to do it because it could be inconvenient. For example, it could get in the way of our ambition. Let's say I need an inner makeover where I am more peaceful and less competitive. Well, what about my job? What about my career, right? So that's one example of it could be inconvenient. Secondly, it could be painful, like going into the past and dredging it up and trying to do some therapeutic work, and it's like, oh no, I'm going to be crying, and it's painful, or I might have to confront someone, they might have to confront me. So it could be painful, and so we may not want to. It could actually even be threatening. For example, this inner makeover might challenge our view of who we are inside and in the world. Right?
Yeah, it might change your relationships. You're not the person you used to be.
That's right. And it could force us to make scary decisions. Like if I do an inner makeover, I may realize that I need to change something. That could be scary. So we have Amy says, hello, Granny and Sweet Baby James, and she sends hearts. Hello. And Sangeeta says, hello. Hello, Sangeeta. And Majid says, highly appreciated your fabulous music. Well, thank you, Majid. Our fabulous music is every Thursday night. And by the way, I get dressed when we do the program Dreams of Peace every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific time.
You get gussied up.
I do. I get gussied up. Sometimes it's the only time in the whole week that I put on clothes other than nightgowns. Anyway, I'm sick. I have an excuse. Oh, we have like a bunch of loves coming out. Okay. So, if it could be inconvenient, if it could be painful, if it could be threatening, why should we do an inner makeover?
Because we're unhappy?
And it could even be expensive because you may have to go to therapy or something like that costs money, or change your life or quit a job or something. So the reason that we do it is that not doing it is worse.
Ooh.
See, that's kind of the way it is, right?
Staying stuck in a rut.
Staying stuck in a rut, right? So, in this show, like in a half an hour, we can't really fix anybody. We can't give you a makeover, but we can raise some questions. And we can look at some signs that you need an inner makeover. So, are you ready? Are you there? And I'm going to give you 10. And the 10th one I'm going to tell you in advance is you fill in the blank about why you need an inner workover. So,
workover?
Yes. Makeover.
We're going to work you.
We are. We are. So, here are 10 signs that you need an inner makeover. 1. Look at this. I actually prepared for this show.
This is great.
Yeah. You tend to be angry or resentful a lot.
Ooh. You talking about me again?
Life is one endless complaint. Is that you?
I don't think that's me.
Oh, no.
Not endlessly, but there are intermittent periods.
A lot of complaining. So we can definitely identify that in other people. Like, oh my God, he or she complains all the time. So maybe they need an inner makeover. Maybe there's a way that their unhappiness and resentment is internal and therefore it never changes. Okay, secondly, a second sign that you need an inner makeover is you tend to see yourself as a victim.
Ooh. Ouch.
So
I take that personally.
Oh, yeah, no, it's...
You affronted my ego.
So here's the deal. I mean, there are times when you are victimized. You know, somebody rips you off, or somebody hurts you, or somebody rapes you, or beats you up, and you know we all know what that it's like. But it's if you tend to see yourself as a victim, and that's your habit. Maybe you need an inner makeover, right? Where you become reoriented, where you make some kind of a change in your whole life's perspective, right? Which is what an inner makeover will do for you. 3, another sign you need an inner makeover is that you procrastinate and don't know why and don't seem to be able to do anything about it. So you're like stuck, right? You look at it and say, oh, I really wish I could do this, but you just don't do it. So maybe you need an inner makeover that's where you find out why you're procrastinating or free yourself from that. 4, you don't love your life or have appreciation for it. Oh, that's a terrible one. If you don't love your life, why are you bothering? Life sucks. So if you don't love it, why go through the trouble? That's what I think. So if you don't love your life or have an appreciation for it, you may need an inner makeover. Now, here's number 5. You are always amazed and shocked sometimes at other people's cool or negative reactions to you. They're always unreasonable. I didn't do anything. I don't understand why they don't like me, or whether could it be that you need an inner makeover, right? And that's
I don't take slights slightly.
Right. That may be the reason that they're negative towards you. Okay. 6. You think about doing things but don't. Even fun things. This is different from procrastination, which is like, I know I need to do this, but I'm procrastinating. But you're thinking about doing things you want to do, even fun things, and you just can't do it. Something is blocking you. Hey, dude, if something is blocking you on the inside, do a inner makeover. After all, if you had a clogged drain, would you just let it go on and on and on? And think of the sewage in the bathroom, right, or in the kitchen. Well, it's the same thing. If we let these things go on and on the inside, there's a lot of inner sewage.
Ooh.
Oh, that's bad. Okay. 7, see if you can relate to this one. You have the same thoughts and conversations you had years ago.
Hmm.
You know, you're still talking about the same thing that you talked about when you were 17, 20, 25, 30. You're still talking about it. You're still talking about it in the same way. You you're thinking about everything in the same way. It's like life never changes, and you just every day you get more and more validation for your inner sewage, right? So if you're having the same thoughts and the same conversations you had years ago, maybe you need an inner makeover, like blow it up and look at things differently. Here is 8. You resent other people's success. Never. Never, right? So that's just another resentment. But maybe you need an inner makeup because you're not makeover because you're not feeling good about your own life, right? And that's why it's showing up that you resent other people. And of course, you can always justify it. Well, he or she was the boss's nephew or niece or something. But it's like, come on. You don't appreciate what other people are going through, right? And what efforts they're making, and you resent their success. That is a sure sign. You need an inner makeup. Over. 9. You don't see your own progress, and you tend to be self-critical. Oh my God, do you ever need an inner makeup? You gotta turn makeover. You need you need to turn over the earth, girl, dude. Turn it over. Find out why you're not seeing your progress. Look at your progress. Get happy about yourself. Even if it's a small bit of progress, it's still progress, right? And number 10 is fill in the blank. So you can put in the comments something that tells you that you might need an inner makeover. So there you have it. Now, is there a way to actually do an inner makeover? It's not easy, is it? Well, sometimes there is something you can do. But you have to be ready, right? So how do you know you're ready? So here are 10 signs that you are ready to do an inner makeover. Catalina says good evening and sends hearts, and good evening to you.
Back at you, Catalina.
Back at you. Okay. 1. Signs that you are ready for an inner makeover. You may have been doing the same thing year after year. For instance, the way you relate to people or yourself, the way you do music or art or go to the gym or not, or cook, and the way you spend time, the kind of people you seek and hang out with. But now you're willing to change those things. You're willing to actually look at this and say, is this really healthy for me? That is a sign, a really good sign that you're willing and ready to do a inner makeover. 2nd, you examine your own motives. You're not just buying your own bullshit. You're saying, gee, I wonder. Amy says, number 10, I ask for help when I can actually handle something myself. That's her sign that she needs an inner makeover. I like that, Amy. So you are now, was I on number 1?
Yes.
Yes, you're willing to change things. I'm not saying that you're going to change them right away. I'm saying that you find yourself willing to change things. Okay.
Possibly after the same old, and you're tired of the same old.
Tired. You're singing the same song for 40 years. Maybe it's time for something new or different. Making the same dish, right? Okay. 2, you examine your own motives. That's a big one. People who are ready for an inner makeover are people who are willing to examine their own motives and are tired of their rationalizations. That's huge, right? I know a lot of really good people never examine their motives. Never. And they just keep complaining about the same thing over and over and never examine themselves. Okay. Similar, but a little different is number 3. You question your own mind and opinions. Oh, that is a really good sign that you are ready for an inner makeover, because you're actually willing to start questioning what's in your head.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's not easy for people, but that's a really good sign. Okay. 4, you are willing to change comfortable habits like drinking alcohol or taking drugs or eating the wrong things or going to the races, or you know, or yelling can be a habit, right? So you're willing to change comforting habits, and you're going to get some support around that. 6, you are willing to try something entirely new and observe yourself to see if you're reacting the same way. And that is an interesting thing, because if I'm trying something new and I'm having exactly the same reaction that I'm having to everything else, maybe that's a sign that I need an inner makeover. What do you think? Now, oh, I skipped one. 5, you stop rationalizing and get support to make the changes. For example, I was talking earlier about the comforting habits like drinking or drugs or eating or whatever. Now you're saying, I'm going to stop rationalizing. It's not because of X. I'm not because of Y. It's because of something in me, and I am willing to get the support to do something about it. You know, it's not enough to say, oh, I see this in me, but if I don't get the support to change it, I might not do it, because I've maybe stuck in this pattern for a long time. So then came 6, you're willing to try something entirely new and observe yourself to see if you're reacting the same way. See? There's an order here. 7, you ask for feedback from others who are good at what you're trying to do. So, for example, if you're writing the great American novel and it never goes anywhere, maybe you should show it to somebody and get some feedback. No, because they have to be wrong. Because what I've been doing for the 20 years that I've been writing the great American novel is just wonderful. Now, maybe it is wonderful. See, there's no hard and fast rules about anything. Maybe you're right and everybody is wrong. It is very possible. But on the other hand, you're willing to ask for feedback. I'm bad at this. And from others who are good at what you're trying to do. Somebody you actually respect. Now, similarly, 8, you find a therapist or a counselor who can see through you.
That'd be you.
That would be me. I am a counselor. I do individual counseling, group counseling, all kinds of trainings, couples counseling, groups, and so on. And yes, I do have a good intuition so that I can see through people. If you are looking for that, that's a sign that you're ready for an inner makeover. 9, and this is also kind of similar. You surround yourself with people who are willing to confront you. Instead of surrounding yourself with people who say yes, yes, and yes to everything you say. Richard says, when I am isolating and not expressing my feelings, nor asking for support. Is that, yeah, that's a sign you need an inner makeover. Definitely. And so when you stop isolating and express your feelings and ask for support, that tells me that you're getting ready for an inner makeover. 10, you surround yourself with people who don't necessarily see things the same way, but who are self-honest and clear thinking, so that you have different input, different perspectives. So there you go. So these are signs that you are ready for an inner makeover. Now, I want to say something to you. Don't be impatient. If you decide that you're ready for an inner makeover, it's pretty darn dramatic. I don't mean tinkering a little bit with this or tinkering a little bit with that. I mean an inner makeover. That means like soup to nuts. It could be soup to nuts on something that's, not big. Okay, maybe I'm generally okay, but there's just a couple of little areas where I really think I need a makeover. But it's going to be deep, even if it's not large, covering a lot. And for many of us, if we need an inner makeover, it's something deep, it's something fundamental. It isn't going to be easy. And the change may be, as I said earlier, uncomfortable, threatening, hard, painful. But it's a choice that we have, you know. If you want to make an inner makeover for yourself, keep persisting. Don't give up. Stay open and honest. Pray if you have a spiritual belief system. Pray that you will get divine help in making this makeover. Majid said, really, wise and deep words. May it could be a roadmap to rebuild our lives. Many thanks for you, gorgeous couple. Oh, thank
you, Majid.
Majid, you're so right. It's time for us to really be thinking about this. I am really sad and sometimes in despair when I see how little people want to practice self-awareness and are always unhappy and complain. And these may be dear people, but they can't break through. And I want you to break through. I want our whole world to break through, our society to break through. We just had an experience of this trial of Derek Chauvin, and we're looking at racism in America. That's an inner makeover. That's no more just rationalizing. That's really looking at who we are, where this comes from, being willing to do something different. Oh my God, do something different. Get to know people of other races and religions. Examine your own prejudices, for example. There are so many things that we can do. Our country needs an inner makeover for sure, not just around racism, but around the way that we treat people and the way we treat the earth. But I will talk about that at some other time. In the meantime, I want to remind you that we are here every Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. Oh, somebody whose name I can't say because it's maybe in Arabic said, kiss that old man.
That'd be me.
And kiss the piano too.
Mm.
I do kiss this old man. I'm an old lady. Kiss the old lady. It's never too late for an inner makeover. I'm still working on it every day. And I encourage you to do the same. And remember, every Thursday night, which is tomorrow, I play the piano. Dreams of Peace improvisational piano music. So we really appreciate your being with us tonight. We appreciate your feedback, your love, and we ask you to like the show, to love the show, to share, and to follow our page. If you haven't been doing that, that could be part of your inner makeover of being more forthcoming or more supportive to other people. We need your support, just like you need ours. So after the show, we do a group called Seeing Through New Glasses, which I facilitate on video conferencing. And if you're interested in joining their group, there is a fee for that, please, but it's not huge. Please write to me, beth@bethgreen.org. So that's it. If I didn't answer your comment, it's because it didn't show up on Facebook, but I will go through these later, and I always answer comments when I see them. So, let us pray for a collective inner makeup for the whole human race. Yes.
Amen.
We love
Yes.
you. Thank you. Thank you. And let me turn this off.